Welcome back to my YouTube channel. We've moved. We've moved. Finally at a point where I can start crafting again. Thank God. This week we are making the Viperidae sweater. It's a circular yoke sweater with a snake colorwork along the yoke. I am using my West Yorkshire Spinners Blueface Leicester DK yarn. The pattern calls for a sport weight. This was the only yarn that Morris & Sons had that I liked the color combo in for this sweater, so it's fine. I did a proper swatch and I blocked it. I am on gauge. I was on gauge before I blocked it. It didn't grow much. Whether that's because I blocked it wrong or not is to be seen, I guess, when we block this sweater, when we finish it. But this was in 4mm needles. The pattern recommends 4.5mm needles. I went down a size knowing that my gauge is looser than a lot of people. The smallest needles I have access to is a 3, and you have to go down a full needle size for the ribbing. So if I went any lower than a 4, I wouldn't have been able to do this. So luckily the 4 was on gauge, and I started this last night because I was bored and I need something to do. So I have the collar ribbing done. We are now onto the German short rows before the color work, which is what we will be working on today. My desk is currently a mess, which is why I'm currently holding you instead of using the stand, because I couldn't be bothered cleaning my desk right now. So let's get to the short rows. currently working on the colour work for the sweater, and I realised there's a couple details I forgot to mention. I am doing the smaller size A, because of course I am. I did 6 centimeters for the collar. You get to choose anywhere between 6 to 12 centimeters on your preference. This is, I believe, a either mock turtleneck or turtleneck sweater, depending on what you choose for the ribbing for the collar. And the colors that I'm using are grey, which is fossil, and this was Ecru. Yeah, Ecru. Can't really say that because the camera doesn't really want to refocus, but it is Ecru and fossil. I am lining these up by hand because I don't have a Swift. Now that we've moved and my room is slightly bigger, I may look into getting one, as I do keep every now and again buying yarn that does need to be wound up on a Swift. But I know those can be a bit of money, so we'll see. Yeah, those are the details I forgot to mention. I do believe I bought more grey than I needed, because I think I was originally going to knit the size B, but that's because I forgot which way the weight of yarn goes. I thought it was DK then Sport, so I grabbed slightly more just in case, or I grabbed an extra just in case or something. But no, DK is bigger, and I managed to reach gauge by just going down a point, half a needle size. So the size A recommended 900 meters of the main color. I think I have like 1,200, and these are in 225 meter hanks. So I probably bought like one more than I needed, but I mean, my row gauge is slightly less than my stitch gauge, and the stitch gauge was the main thing, obviously. But so I may need to make this, I may need more rows than it accounts for, but I highly doubt I highly doubt I will, because I wear my sweaters cropped, so well, cropped. I'm short. So they're technically slightly cropped, but only just. So I guess, I mean, if I end up with an extra one, I don't know. I generally do not know what I think I'm going to do with that. I know the white's fine, or off-white, I guess, because it's not fully. I know that should be fine. It's just the grey that I have too much of. But it's fine. It's not like I'm trying to get rid of yarn I'm not going to use or anything. Yeah. Moving was not fun. Stress of moving was the worst part, but I have my bed is one of those beds that has storage built into like the base of the bed, and it's so many different parts. I built it myself when we first got it because I needed but I had instructions, but we weren't thinking we were going to move anytime soon, so we threw the instructions away. I had to disassemble this bed and then reassemble it while we moved, and that was awful. One good thing about it is now my room is slightly bigger. I do have more room. I say slightly. It is a very noticeable difference to me. So I'm happy with it. Another positive is that it does allow me to actually put my stash into Ravelry. I took photos of all the yarn. I just need to weigh it to put it into Ravelry itself, but it's just a lot. I think I may be missing a box of books because I did have 2 shelves of books and now I only have 1. So I believe I have all of my books. It's just maybe I organized them a little bit better this time, but I didn't think I did. I thought I organized it worse, honestly. I'm happy with the layout though. You saw a slight glance at it in the intro. Yeah. I have not hung up my tapestries yet. This is the wall that I plan to put them on, as the other walls are a little cramped with my shelves and my wardrobe. I do also have the other wall behind my desk, but I think this is the wall that I want to put them on so that you're not stuck looking at a boring blue wall. Fun fact, this is a very pale blue. I don't know if you'll be able to see the difference compared to, yeah, not really, but it's a very, very pale blue. So hopefully when I get the tapestries up, it'll look a little more interesting behind me. That's all of the details I wanted to update you on, plus an update, I guess. Yeah, let's get back to it. I don't catch my floats when it's stuff for me. I don't care. That, and it makes my tension look worse if I catch them. So that's what you get. I can't remember exactly what my last update was. I think it was a clip of me working on the colour work, which I believe was Saturday morning. I don't know what my hair wants to do here, but yikes. started this Friday. I started filming Friday. I did the collar on Thursday. And I filmed, I don't know when the last upload was. It's now Sunday. I've not long woken up, so excuse the stupidity. It's because I'm freshly woken up. I finished the colour work last night. The yoke isn't quite long enough, most likely because my row gauge is slightly off, but in the pattern it does say to add a few rounds for yoke before splitting for sleeves if it's not long enough. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to add somewhere between 2 and 5 rows. Not quite sure exactly how many. So I do have my extra cable and a cable connector out to what's the word? To keep trying it on, I guess. I'm far too tired for this, but I'm not too tired. I'm far too freshly awake for this. I nearly said awoke then. Let's just get into knitting to wake me up. Sorry about the bad lighting, but there's currently a power outage in our area, so no lights. I am now on the ribbing for the body. I'm doing same as the collar. It recommends 6 to 12 centimeters of ribbing. I am going to do the same as the collar, which is 6. which is 20 rows. I'm currently on row 11, which means I'm probably only going to be finishing the ribbing today. I was hoping to maybe start a sleeve today, but I doubt it. Because the power's out, I haven't been able to play my game today. Yesterday we went and got credit so that I had data to use to play my game, because the internet's not being installed until next week. The 26th, it's currently the no idea. Anyway, it's being installed next week. So we went and got data so I could play my game, and now there's no power, so I still can't play my game. So fun. So I've just spent the whole half of the day so far knitting, and also starving because the power went out right before I could get my breakfast, and the power's still out and it's lunchtime, and so I still can't get lunch. So I'm having great fun. Right, I don't think there's anything in the cupboards that's not something that needs to be cooked to eat. So besides like candy, and that's not really going to fill me up at this point. So great fun. I'm probably, another thing is that I'm probably gonna need to buy DPNs for the sleeves of this sweater. I'm so sorry if you can hear my stomach. I am not kidding. I am starving right now. But there's nothing I can do about it. I'm gonna need to buy DPNs for the sleeves because the smallest needles in my interchangeable set are 3.5s, but as I said in the intro, I believe, I need 3mm needles for the ribbing. I have these 3mm needles, not interchangeable. These were ones that I had before I got my set. This is, as you can see, way too small for this, but it works enough for me to be able to do the body. And then I have another one which was just small enough for me to do the collar, but it is not small enough for me to do the cuffs. And I don't like magic loop or traveling loop. I tried those once for a pair of socks, or a sock, not a pair of socks, and I hated it so much that I did not do them. A couple weeks ago, I made the mesh summer top, and there goes my stomach again, sorry. And I had leftover yarn of it, and I said I was gonna try and make a pair of cotton socks out of it. I did try. What the fuck? This yarn was like $25 per skein. And I have to put up with that? I'm not dealing with it. I'm far too hungry to be dealing with that. Anyway, I had that yarn that I said I was going to make into socks. That's the yarn that I tried magic loop or traveling loop on, did not work, immediately ripped it out and frogged that. So traveling loop or magic loop is not going to work for me for these cuffs. So I'm probably going to need to see if Spotlight has any 3mm DPNs. I'm pretty sure they do the last time I looked, but then again, that was in like February or March, which it's May currently. So that could have changed, but hopefully they do, because I'm gonna need them, because I don't want to order them online, order any like 3mm interchangeables for my set online, because they're not going to get here quick enough for me, because I'm already on the body ribbing. Sleeves do not take long for me to work up. Like, I can knit a sleeve in a day. They're not that hard for me. I'm short. My arms are short. There was a siren. Anyway, sleeves don't take that long for me to work up. So if I order 3mm interchangeable needles for my set online, they are not going to get here quick enough for me. So it's not really worth it. And I did kind of want to try DPNs for socks, so I guess this will give me a chance to try. I'm not looking forward to it, but it gives me a chance to try it. Another thing, this is going to be a yap sesh, but I'm sure you are fine with that. I definitely bought way too much yarn for this, because this is still the second hank of yarn. I bought 6 of these grey ones. And I'm like, this ball will finish the body and start a sleeve. So I'm most likely going to have like 2 full hanks left over. If not 2 and a bit of a third. Because I doubt that one skein is going to take a whole sleeve. I doubt one sleeve is going to take a whole hank. Sorry, is the way I should say that. So, especially not if I still got leftover. So I'm suspecting at least 2 full hanks and maybe like a quarter of a third. How the fuck did I do that math so wrong? I used my calculator on my phone as well, so it should have been right. That's... And like I said, with the freaking messed up bit of yarn, these were like $25 skeins of yarn. That was at least $50 that I did not need to spend. This was birthday yarn, by the way. This was money that I had saved to spend on myself, so it's not that big of an issue, but like, it's kind of an issue. I still have like half of the white left over as well. That I knew I only needed one, so that's fine. But I do still have half of that left over. I'm thinking maybe I could do a pair of mittens. Or a beanie. I really don't know what I'm going to do with this. I do really like the idea of mittens, more so than the beanie. But I'm really disappointed in my math skills. I have no idea where I went so wrong with that. I hate having one extra skein because then it seems like then the math would have been closer. But two, oh, I really hope my math was right or better with the green and white ones that I bought with this for the Harriet sweater, because those are, I have no idea what my voice is doing. Ignore that, because I don't know what I would do with those ones. Because the grey and white I can see as gloves, but the green and white, I don't know how much I'm gonna, like, I already have a lot of green and white stuff. I don't think I'd want, grey is easier to hide stains, and as gloves they're most likely going to get stained. Green and white is harder. I don't know. I'm just really hoping my math is better for those. Especially since the Harriet sweater technically has 3 colours, a white and then a slightly darker white. It's technically 3 colours, but you can do it as 2. I chose to do it as 2 because they didn't really have, Morris & Sons didn't really have another white that was close to that one in store at least. So I'm really hoping the white is enough for that. Is it white or is it cream? It may be cream. I don't know. Some of that white that you're seeing there is the same as the red yarn from the heart chain sweater that I knit a few weeks ago. Which was from my mum for my birthday. So that's not a part of the Morris and Sons one. It's just mixed in with it because I thought they would stack easier, and as you can see, they did not. Fun. I'm really hoping the power comes back on soon. I need to check again in a few minutes, probably when I finish this clip, just to see if it's back on so that I can maybe get food. We'll see. I'm not looking forward to editing. I am not looking forward to editing this clip because it's now 15 minutes. I used to not talk on this channel, and now I have a 15-minute long clip of me just talking to edit. I barely edit talking clips. I just put them in and hope for the best. Which, if you're not new to my channel, you probably know. but I still have to add music to the background of these videos. Not looking forward to this. Anyway, this is where I'll probably end this clip. Next update you see will maybe be me starting a sleeve tomorrow. Because I highly doubt I'm gonna finish this ribbing and start a sleeve today. Because I'm only on row 12 out of 20. So, and I still have to do the bind off. Yay! Anyway, I will update you. My glasses are falling off. That's great. I'll update you. It is the next day. I've not long started on this sleeve because yesterday I did not end up finishing the body because we had a slight car accident. Everyone is fine physically. Emotionally, we're a little bit shaken, but we're fine. So that took a bit. So I did not get home in time to finish the body, which is fine because I wouldn't have had time to do the bind off for the ribbing anyway. But I started the sleeve about 6 something, I think. I did also buy the double pointed needles for the cuff. They didn't have a 3mm in the Knit Pro ones, which were the ones that I originally wanted, but they did have some double pointed needles in 3mm, so it's fine. But yeah, now working on the sleeve. This should hopefully be pretty quick still. I don't think I'm definitely not finishing it tonight because it's like nearly 8 o'clock. And then tomorrow is busy day, especially without a car. But hopefully I should get close to finishing the sleeve if I don't actually finish it. I really don't know. But I do have a few hours left of the day to work on the sleeve now, so I guess we'll see how far I get today, and I'll see, and that will determine whether or not I do finish a sleeve tomorrow or not. One thing with this pattern is it tells you to do the picking up where you cast it on extra stitches under the arm, but it doesn't tell you how to fix if there's a hole. I know how to fix that if there's a hole between the pickup stitches and the arm stitches because of every other raglan I've done before it. But it doesn't tell you that. It does say that there's 12 centimeters of ribbing for the cuffs, which is definitely something that I'm not looking forward to doing on double pointed needles, which I don't even know if I like yet. I have had to use 2 sets of circular needles for the toe of socks before, and I was fine with that. So maybe I might like it, but 12 centimeters on a maybe is questionable. But yeah, I just thought I'd update since so much has happened. So much and so little. And as you saw in the last clip, we also had a power outage yesterday as well. So yesterday was incredibly fun, if you can't tell. But that's the update. Back to sleeves. We're at the cuff. I'm 6 rows in to using DPMs, or 7 because I had to do the round before starting the cuff in the 3s as well. But I don't know how well I can talk while doing this, so if I pause for a couple seconds, please forgive me. These, they're not the worst thing ever, but they aren't my favorite. I'm definitely, I was gonna say I definitely wasn't gonna knit socks on these, but maybe the more rows I do with these, the slightly easier they are. They're not. I will most likely be ordering 3mm needles for my interchangeables, but these are reasonable. I don't know. You do have to watch that you're pulling the right needle, because these are very easy to pull out of your stitches. Learned that the hard way, as you can probably tell. But I'm slightly concerned about accidentally poking my eye out. I have these which stop that, but it's still scary having one pointing directly at you. So these are slightly better than Magic Loop for me, but they're a good backup if I need them, I guess. I'm slightly tempted to try knitting socks on these just to try it, I guess. But as soon as I can, I will be ordering the 3mm because this is horrible. It's not horrible, it's annoying more than anything, I guess. Worse when you're wearing a jumper that the needle ends can get stuck in. But, you know, not the worst things ever, but I wouldn't recommend them to people, I guess. Yeah, about to finish row 7 of 40. I have to do 40 rows for this ribbing with these. Can you tell I'm excited to do this? Is my hair dye fading? I think I need to dye my hair again, because that's looking more brown to black. It's probably because I had a really hot shower this morning. That was probably a bad idea. Oh well. But yeah. This is what we're working with. Get smaller circulars. Don't. If you like this, you are insane. Whoever invented this was clearly actually into witchcraft, because what the fuck? I really don't know if I can do 40 rows. Wish me luck. It's the next day. I'm wearing the same sweater because it's cold, and this is double-stranded merino. So, kind of the best thing for me to wear right now. But I've finished the first sleeve with its ridiculous looking cuff, and I've started the second. For my sleeve length, I need 7 sets of decreases plus another 9 rounds on top of it, the last one being in the 3mm to prepare for the cuff. But that is what we're up to. I just thought I'd update so that it doesn't look like it's the same day. realised I actually did a size down of what I originally planned to do, which explains why there was a little bit more yarn left over than originally planned. I was going to do size B. I ended up doing size A. I don't think there was much difference though. There still would have been quite a bit of yarn left over. I still have 3 full grey skeins left and over half of the white, which means I could make this sweater again if I wanted to. So severely overestimated my yarn. And I did. I redid the math for the green and white yarn that I also bought from Morris & Sons. I originally planned to do the extra small size of the Harriet sweater with that. Didn't buy enough of the green for that, which I want as the main color, but I do have enough for the extra small, so it's fine. But I originally planned for the extra. It's not, the extra small is still big enough. If anything, the extra small is too big, because the extra small has 35 centimeters of positive ease for my size, so it's fine. But how I keep messing up my math is beyond me. So either I'm a lot worse at my math than I thought I was, and I've gotten better, or something just went wrong with my original math. But it means I get to make another sweater out of this yarn, so it's fine. This took 30 hours and 38 minutes to make, which isn't too bad, I don't think. The heart chain sweater took 43, so it's not too bad. The cough sweater that I made, the brown circular yoke one that I did, that was 27. So same construction, and it only took like 3 more hours. Isn't too bad for me. So this altogether, this used 316 grams of yarn. I only used 38 grams of the Ecru, which is the white, which I think is pretty good. It's a very small amount of yarn, luckily. And then 278 grams for the fossil, which is the grey. This yarn is very itchy against my neck. It's fine everywhere else, but against my neck, this is kind of horrible. This is my first time wet blocking a sweater as well. I think I did pretty good because the color work is flat. It is still a little damp as of right now because I am impatient and could not wait any longer. And the weather is kind of horrible right now. Like, you can see sun, but it's grey outside. Not like super grey, but it's lightly raining every now and again. So this wouldn't have dried super quickly. I am not kidding, this is so itchy against my neck and I have no idea why. It's fine everywhere else, just my neck. It's fine. I thought my main issue would be against my wrists, but no, it's my neck. The DPNs actually weren't as bad once you got used to them, or once you figure out a rhythm for how to get them around each other, I guess. They were a lot easier. Still took me like 2 hours for each calf, but I think that's more the 40 rows than anything else. I will most likely be using them again in the future because I do plan to make the Salty Day sweater, and that requires 3mm, and I think I might be doing that before I can order the interchangeable 3mm. So it is what it is. This took just under 10 days. This took 8 days to make, which I think is pretty good. This is, my parents are talking. If you can hear that, just ignore it, please. Shockingly, this was the first sweater that I've made completely without wanting to start another project. Shockingly, I did start another project during this, but that was when this one became too big to take places. So usually when I'm nearing the end of a sweater, I start wanting to make a different sweater, but shockingly, this one I didn't. So not horrible. No, the other thing's up there, so I can't be able to show you what I made during this. But yeah, I am quite happy with how this turned out. So I think that's all the details I need to go into. Yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.